Hey, good morning, East Texas. Thanks so much for joining us on the CBS 19 Plus live stream. We're live on CBS 19 Plus, as well as on Facebook and YouTube. If you guys have questions about the weather, I'll be doing my best to get to the Facebook questions that you have. So if you drop them in the comments, we'll give you an update there. Otherwise, we are once again waking up to a gloomy sky outside. There are a few showers and thunderstorms which are slowly making their way along I-30. If you take a closer look at our radar, you can see them just cruising along I-30 toward Gilmer, toward Pittsburgh, Jefferson, and Marshall. You guys are kind of next in line for this. We have seen this kick out winds around 30 miles per hour, so that is not severe by any means, but it is enough that you'll feel the impact of it. We're also hearing lots of rumbles of thunder out toward Gilmer. I have heard reports of about nickel-sized hail, according to the National Weather Service. So if you live along I-30, if you're in Gilmer, Jefferson, Marshall, Linden, that's kind of where we're seeing this go. This originally was supposed to head to the Dallas area earlier this morning, but before sunrise, it took a very sharp turn off to the east, and now it's just cruising along I-30 and toward the state line. Let me go ahead and put a track on it. It has been moving pretty consistently between 25 to 30 miles per hour all through the morning, so we can give you a bit of a timeline in case you're still heading out for your morning commute. Hughes Springs, that should get to you closer to 8:30, so we're giving you about 3 minutes heads up on that. Toward Bear Creek around 9 o'clock, toward Linden, that's going to get to you closer to 9 o'clock, 9:15 if you're in Brea, and then in Burford, I apologize if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, that is around 9:18. Now, nothing severe out of this, but it is enough that you'll feel some gusty winds and you'll hear some heavy downpours, especially in this little cell that's toward Gilmer at the moment. Let me go ahead and clear this off so we can get a closer look. There at Gilmer, Winsboro, Lafayette, Betty, that's where we're seeing the bulk of this right now. I haven't heard any reports of large hail, but if you guys happen to see any, go ahead and let us know. We would appreciate that a lot. Now, we have seen a bit of an uptick in lightning. Let me see if I can get a check of the amount of lightning. So we're looking at this cell that's from Pittsburgh to Dangerfield and all the way down toward Gilmer. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and redraw that polygon because I missed a few lightning strikes there. Alrighty. So we're still looking at that same cell, the one that's on your screen. We just got another strike of lightning. Around 25 lightning strikes in the past 15 minutes. That's not a super electric cell, but still something to stay aware of, especially if your kids walk to school. Remember, it's not safe for them to walk in a thunderstorm or really for anyone to be outdoors during that thunderstorm. Remember, when thunder roars, go indoors. Otherwise, if we take a wider look, a lot of this storm is just going to make it along I-30, and the majority of us will stay dry. There is a little pocket of rain popping up out toward Overton and Gladewater, but that's not going to be impactful enough to really create a slowdown on those roadways. What we have seen cause slowdowns has been the fog out there. This is a live look outside our CBS 19 studio. A lot of that fog has lifted, but we're still tracking a very gloomy start to the day. If you were up around sunrise and you were watching Morning Y'all with us, I'm sure you saw all the fog out there. I felt like you couldn't even see your hand in front of your face at some points. Now, there will still be a few patches of fog hanging out to the west, but that's slowly but surely clearing off. Right now, though, visibility showing us that we're seeing more fog through deep East Texas. So Jacksonville, around half a mile of visibility. Same out toward Palestine, about 1.5 miles in Linden. On a clear day, which is what we're seeing for areas toward Sulphur Springs, toward Plano, Denton, where those storms came through and kind of kicked a lot of this humidity out of the atmosphere. That's where there's clearer visibility. Let me see, it's gonna take me just a second. So I'm gonna talk to you guys while we do it. If I can get a check of our camera out in Nacogdoches, we have one at SFA. And usually that will show us the conditions in deep East Texas pretty well. Alrighty, this is going to be over SFA, and we can get a check of the fog out there because we are seeing more fog in deep East Texas. Here you go. You can see it there. Visibility low. We were saying that was around 1 mile through most of deep East Texas. Some areas a little bit more, a little bit less. That is enough that it could cause some slowdowns. Remember to drive carefully. If you do encounter any dense fog, remember to not turn on your high beams. That's going to lower your visibility a bit more as it scatters the light when you have that extra high beam light coming in, and sometimes it can reflect the light back into your eyes, which makes it even harder to see. Otherwise, a very gloomy start to this Friday. Now, we will see the fog continue to clear out of here, but we're going to be dealing with clouds for the majority of the day today. That's going to be a mix of sun and clouds, but mostly cloudy. By the time we hit the afternoon, now we're looking around sunset. Scattered showers could pop up over deep East Texas, but I'm not tracking anything severe out of that. Really, the worst of the weather that we'll see this week came through yesterday when we picked up a decent amount of rainfall. If you were out and about, you probably heard the rumbles of thunder, saw some strikes of lightning. It's not going to be anything like that at all today. Instead, it will be on the warmer side. We're looking at the 80s, 84 in Tyler, 81 in Henderson, and then 82 if you're in Mount Pleasant. This afternoon, it will be humid. We're tracking lots of humidity in our air. Our dew points, which is how we measure humidity, those are all the way in the 60s, and that's enough to make us feel that bit of a stickiness in the air. Now, we'll see pretty significant warm up through the day. Today, we're starting off the 60s, the 70s coming in around noon. The afternoon, there is a chance to see the 80s. All right, tonight, temperatures are falling down into the 60s, 66 in Tyler, 63 in Jacksonville, and 67 if you're in Nacogdoches. Cool and damp, but I think that we will stay mostly dry. Now, fast forward to Saturday. We do have some clouds as we're waking up. We're picking this up around 9 o'clock tomorrow. Lots of widespread clouds. I'm not tracking rain during the morning. So if you're coming to our CBS19 Urban Kids Fishing Derby, I'll be there. I hope that you guys come as well. It's going to be pretty dry out there. It will be humid, but we're not tracking rain, so that's the silver lining, I guess. Now, Saturday afternoon around sunset, we'll track another little round of isolated showers and thunderstorms. That's up toward the Arklatex. I'm not tracking anything severe out of this, just an isolated rumble of thunder and a few pockets of rain that will mainly impact you if you live in Mount Pleasant, maybe Gilmer, Jefferson, and then up to the northeast. Otherwise, the weekend is looking nice. Isolated thunderstorms on Saturday evening. Sunday, we finally see the return of dry weather. However, that does come as our temperatures are climbing. We're all the way into the upper 80s, and that's going to put us on record watch. The record, 91, we set that back in 1901, so that has stood more than 100 years. I don't think we'll break it, but we are certainly getting close. That's only 3 degrees apart. That's happening because high pressure builds in. That's going to really chase away any rain chances. And as it sits directly over our part of the Lone Star State, we are going to see our temperatures increase. It's not just us, it's down to central and the Gulf Coast parts of East Texas, or I should say of Texas as well. As this begins to shift off to the east, that's going to open a window. We could see some storms trying to make it into East Texas sometime by the middle part of next week. What that means is we're tracking a level 2 risk of severe weather already for Tuesday into Wednesday. Now, that's not in East Texas, but it is certainly too close for comfort. It's centered closer to the DFW area and all the way back toward Wichita Falls. It does go up into the Midwest and parts of the Great Lakes as well. Now, what we're tracking here is there's a line of showers and thunderstorms that will be caused by a cold front. It's going to crash into East Texas, kick up our winds. We'll see some hail out of this likely. We'll definitely hear some rumbles of thunder. I do expect that this is going to be a very wind-filled system, so we'll probably get some gusty winds, maybe some wind damage as well. Again, it is several days out, but we'll continue to bring you the latest on this. So this is Wednesday morning. Our future skycast is showing us these coming in sometime around sunrise, but then it's likely going to last into Wednesday and potentially into parts of Thursday as well. Now, the timing is still up in the air, as well as the specific weather hazards. Once again, this is coming through next week. So we'll continue to fine tune that and give you the latest updates once we get more information in here at CBS 19. But what I can tell you is it is set to be very rainy over the next 7 days. A lot of that rain, though, moving along the Red River in northern parts of Texas. Oklahoma getting pounded. Around 3.5 inches, if not more, of rain are set to come down there. Most of us in East Texas will pick up between 3/4 of an inch to 1.5 inches, but it is going to be a lot of rain because most of that is coming through by the early to middle part of next week. And if not, a little bit of rain is still falling right now along I-30. Here's another live look at our radar. You can see this little thunderstorm that is currently moving through Gilmer. It's in Upshur County right now. I'm just going to keep my eye on this one. Let me just put a track specifically on this little system right here. It's moving pretty much to the east-southeast. It's been between 25 to 30 miles per hour all day, so we'll see it kind of stick with that same velocity. Toward Diana, that should get to you closer to 8:45, so we're giving you about 5 minutes heads up on that. Toward Harleton, closer to 9. Jefferson around 9:30, 9:45, as this continues to push out to the east. Again, nothing severe, but the National Weather Service has been keeping their eye on this. Back in the DFW area, they were saying that it could cause about nickel-sized hail. That is on the smaller end of things, but we'll continue to keep an eye on it. Now, this has been kind of decaying and dying as it makes its way over East Texas. Let me just put this in a loop for you so you can see it was organized way back when it was out toward Cooper, toward Greenville, and out toward the DFW metro area. You can see it kind of be organized back there as it's a bow, a little arc coming through. But as it's been making its way through the piney woods, it's beginning to fall apart. Now, I am keeping my eye on these little showers that are just to the south of the main line out toward I-20. That's where we're seeing just the potential for some development. Now, it looks like we're getting a new radar scan in. It's unclear if this has really just lost some steam, which I don't think that would happen that quickly. What I have a feeling happened is we probably lost data from one of the radar sites there. We'll continue to keep you updated, though. We still have a good set of eyes on it as this continues to move out to the east. Now, what I've been watching is just our amount of thunderstorm energy. And really, that is kind of lacking for us. And that's why I don't think that the system is going to get any more intense than what we're already seeing. The thunderstorm energy just is not here. What you're seeing in the blues and the greens is where we need at least some thunderstorm energy, and there is some out toward Jefferson and out toward Harrison, Harrison, and Cass counties. But a lot of that is out across the state line in Louisiana. So as these little thunderstorms try to move through, they could pick up steam as they get to the Shreveport area. But we just don't have the juice to really get them going here in East Texas. We'll, of course, continue to keep an eye on them, but these are slowly but surely making their way out of our area. Nothing to be really concerned about. The bigger thing, just look for a bit of fog out there, especially if you're in deep East Texas. Here's another live look over the SFA area. It is definitely foggy out there. I hope that you guys are staying safe and, of course, doing your best to stay dry. Here's a look at our 7-day. This is where we're going to end our CBS 19 live stream. Thanks so much for joining us. Warm today once we get the clouds to part, and I think we will later this afternoon. But really, we will feel the impact of the warmth and the humidity starting Sunday and Monday. Rain chances pop up again starting on Tuesday. Thanks so much for joining us.